Welcome to the channel. Today's video is my first impressions of my new R1250 Adventure. This is a factory lowered version. I've just moved over to it from a Versys 1000 and that was a 2018 model. I did look at the Adventure the last time I bought a GS, but when I sat on it I felt that the physical size of the bike and the weight was quite intimidating. I've only got a 32 inside leg and I was on tiptoes at both sides, and given the weight and the fact that I was carrying pillion at the time, I just felt that the smaller GS was probably more appropriate then. The factory load version really changes how you feel when you sit on the bike. As I said, I've got a 32 inside leg, and now with the seat in the upper position, my legs are slightly bent, my feet are flat on the floor, and you really feel like you've got control of the vehicle, and it changes your perception and your confidence levels as soon as you sit on it. There's no getting away from it, the bike is still huge, but with such a large frontal area, it gives you exceptional road presence, and that means you can be seen, which has got to be good. One thing this bike has in common with all of the R range of the BMW motorcycles is the boxer engine, and this means that the centre of gravity of the vehicle is extremely low. This really does aid slow speed handling. It provides a good level of stability and it gives you the confidence to go around slow roundabouts without feeling precarious in any way. So what's the engine like? Obviously I'm limited to 5,000 revs at the moment because I'm running in, but the initial impression is that it's extremely smooth, that the fueling is absolutely excellent, especially at low revs, which makes a huge change. So many of the bikes now that are Euro 4 and Euro 5 are snatchy at low revs, and they're awful to ride around town, but the BMW just doesn't fall into that category at all. For general road riding, for me it's not horsepower that makes the difference, it's the level of torque that the engine can produce, especially at low revs, and this thing can produce 143 Nm of torque, which is really impressive. You've got power in any gear and any part of the rev range. My first impressions is based around my first 200 miles of use of the vehicle, so I'm still on the first tank of fuel. But even though the engine is really tight, the bike is still averaging around 54 to the gallon, which for a big beast is pretty good, I think. So what about ride quality? BMW's ESA suspension is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. The roads around me are really quite poor, and I've been riding in road mode mainly, but the bike just feels like a magic carpet. It soaks up the bumps extremely well. Even with big potholes, you don't get a jarring through the spine like you can with some bikes. Before buying the bike I was a little bit concerned about the suspension. I didn't know if the reduction in travel as part of the lowering process would affect the quality of the ride, but it absolutely doesn't. It's definitely as good, if not better than the standard GS that I've ridden in the past. When I bought the bike I negotiated a BMW top box, but that left the fact that I still needed to buy panniers. After reviewing all of the videos on YouTube to do with luggage that you can get for the Adventure, I actually opted for BUMOT panniers. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I felt that the quality was better. They're probably more watertight than some of the other versions that are available, and they were slightly better value for money when you combine the price of the panniers themselves and all the accessories. I reached out to Carl at the Adventure Bike Shop. I have to say his service was exceptional. He had all the parts in stock, everything that I needed, and it was delivered free of charge. I got it within a couple of days of ordering. Everything came really well packed and I was really impressed with the quality. So I think, at least from my perspective, I made a good decision. So are there any negatives on the bike? I was expecting the side stand not to be very good after watching reports on YouTube saying that that the stand that they used for the lowered version was the same as they used for the standard. But on mine, I don't know if it's changed because it's a 2021 model, but the side stand is absolutely fine and the bike leans over exactly as you expect it to, and it's not precarious in any way. I do have one negative comment, and that's the amount of road noise that I'm getting from the front of the bike. I'm not certain if it's amplified by the fairing, but it's quite a droning noise and it comes in probably above 20 miles an hour. I'd appreciate comments from other owners if you've experienced this noise, especially if you've managed to reduce it or eliminate it. Please leave a comment below and I'd appreciate that. I hope you found the video useful. If you've got any comments, leave them below. If you've got any questions, please ask and I'll come back and answer any that I can. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.